expert and entertainment journalist. He is in Washington. Tell us what you think. Let's put the question to you. Are the nominees, these nominees 2020 that were revealed on Monday, are they diverse enough in your view? Yes or no?
Absolutely not. Listen, guys, you know, we've been using the hashtag over the last couple of years, hashtag Oscars so white. But this year, the Oscars, they have a new hashtag, Oscars whiter than ever, and a new one, Oscars so male. And I know the Academy is scratching their heads just like the rest of us, because the Academy, they've done everything to change their membership base. They changed the criteria to phase out some of the older guard, some of those people who weren't connected to the business anymore that were still voting members. And they invited a slew of younger, more diverse, inclusive talent to join the Academy board. But even with all of their changes, and even with the things that they've done to become an overall more diverse and inclusive Academy, they can't seem to get these nominees right to save their life.
And when you're talking about men, you know, out of the 9 Best Picture nominees, 6 are centered on the tales of white males. And it's all about the plight to men, be they soldiers, loners, race car drivers, or 2 friends navigating Hollywood. Now, John, who was snubbed? Who, in your opinion, should have been nominated here?
Well, we know Greta Gerwig is the name that everybody's talking about because Little Women has been a critically acclaimed film. It has all the makings of what the Oscars and Hollywood love. It's a coming-of-age story, and so many aspects of the film have shown up in other categories, and she was nominated for the Critics' Choice Awards, but across the board, I'm talking from the Golden Globes to the Oscar nominations, they've been snubbing her. And it's very interesting that these snubs for women directors would be coming in a time where we have organizations like Time's Up advocating for female equality in Hollywood, and even A-list stars like Michael B. Jordan who have these inclusion riders to make sure that people of color and women are more present on their projects. Even with all the progress that Hollywood seems to be trying to make, the award shows just aren't reflective of that.
What about J-Lo?
Yeah, who else was snubbed? I know you have J-Lo on your list.
You know what? J-Lo is somebody that people have been talking about all season long. You know, my circle of film critics and I, we're a little split on if J-Lo was going to actually get a nomination. But there are folks like Eddie Murphy from Dolomite. The Academy just can't give him any love. And then Wesley Snipes from Dolomite. You know, Alfre Woodard from Clemency. She was a front runner that people were talking about early on. Awkwafina from Parasite. And then, you know, there are other names that people have been tossing around all season long that didn't show up, like the iconic Beyonce for The Lion King. But here's the real challenge with the Academy. You know, we know that they're in the business of celebrating excellence in filmmaking, but they also are producing an award show that they want people to see. And it's no secret that they've been suffering from drastically low ratings over the last few years. And Nielsen, the TV monitoring service, says the statistics show that when they have a more diverse collection of nominees, that the ratings for the shows are better those years. So we're using a whole lot of hashtags to describe the Oscars, but behind the scenes, they're probably using the hashtag expect low ratings this year.
Yeah, expect that. But look, you hit the nail on the head. What is the mission statement of the Oscars? Because as far as I'm concerned, it is to say, it is to reward the absolute best artists in film, right, across the industry. Do you think that part of their mission statement should also be to be diverse and to have a diverse list of not only nominees, but also awardees, winners?
You're talking quotas?
Absolutely. But we have to also keep in mind that in order to have the best nominees and projects that are showcased and nominations, you have to have a voting board that's reflective of the multicultural nature of this world that we all live in. You know, film is consumed all over the world. We have international categories at the Oscars. But in order to make sure that the best of the best is being celebrated, you have to have a diverse and inclusive voting body. And that's one of the challenges that the Oscars face. In addition, Hollywood has to continue to do stories and films of color, a diversity of stories and projects of serious nature and of substance. We can't have these years where you make so much progress with diversity and inclusion, and then the awards, well, they don't reflect that.
You've been talking about the voting body. I mean, how many men, all white? I see. How many? What does it consist of? What's the makeup there?
You know, I don't have the exact percentages. I do know that there was a drop in the male white number over the last few years once they began to become more inclusive in their voting body. And here's another point that I definitely want to emphasize. We're not saying don't give white people awards, and we're not saying that the people who have been nominated aren't worthy of recognition. What we are saying is, if you have a voting body that is more inclusive and diverse, then everybody can share in the pot of recognition and celebration.
Yeah.
We shouldn't have to have social media campaigns and online activism to make Hollywood be reflective of the consumers and the people who are celebrating and loving Hollywood films.
Well, we've been asking people to vote. Are the 2020 Oscar nominees diverse enough? We can give you the answer. According to the vote, we've got yes, 57%, 43% no.
Yeah, it's changed since the beginning of the interview. It was 60-40, no, it's not diverse enough 5 minutes ago, and now it's 60-40 almost.
The longer I talk, the more the vote sway in our direction.
Hey, thank you so much for coming on the show. We'll talk again.
Anytime, anytime.